Welcome to Some Good Tea, where we drink some tea and we share some tea. I'm your host, Katie, and today I'm being joined by Jessica.
Hey, how's it going?
She's back, and we had to start the recording now because she was too excited to start drinking tea, and so we had to start recording so we could get her real reaction.
It's so freaking good. It tastes like the woods, and it's so fresh. It's got a cool taste, despite being very hot. Like, take a taste. It's not that hot.
It's got a cool taste despite being very hot. So the the tea that we're drinking today is Arborean Thicket by D&Tea.
It tastes like you're drinking a bush.
Which some of you might not feel like sounds very appetizing. It is a green tea with ginger, almonds, and chocolate.
It's so... Like, how do I describe it? It's smooth. Like, the flavor is so incredibly smooth.
Most teas that have nuts in them will have, like, a very smoothing quality to them. I love anything that has chocolate, obviously. And then almonds, like, ooh. I don't know if we've talked about my passion for almond-flavored things on this podcast. I freaking love almonds.
Or in general, I've never heard you talk about that.
Oh, dude, what? No, we were talking about my Christmas cookies the other day and how, like, my favorite ones are the almond ones.
That's true, you did mention
And
that.
almond marzipan. Oh, my gosh.
Almond marzipan, though.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I could eat that stuff for days and days. But anyway, this is a new flavor that I got over the holidays.
I mean, it's a great holiday flavor.
Yeah, and so I was like, we should definitely have that today. It is still quite warm, so don't scald your palate when you're enthusiasm.
I can't. It smells like the woods, and so I was like, I need to taste this.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's magic.
This one's just as good as the tavern one that you had today.
Oh, that one was by the Steeping Dragon.
That one was really good.
Steeping Dragon is another excellent loose leaf tea supplier. We have many of them that we can recommend to you.
Sure do.
And that one's fantastic. That one's like a blueberry muffin.
Or blueberry strudel.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this one is very like foresty, very warm.
Very earthy.
Great.
My
It's
favorite.
delicious. And today, we're going to be talking about the summertime because we've got like plans for adventures.
So many plans, guys, for spring and summer. This year's gonna be good.
I mean, basically for tomorrow even.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna go out to the West Desert, man. I'm gonna go play if it doesn't snow.
Unless it snows,
Well,
but
if
you could
it's-
still play in the snow.
I mean, Mr. Tim has great four-wheel drive.
Mr. Tim.
My truck.
Now, to be
You were the one who named it.
yes, and to be specific, it's not Tim, it's Timna.
Yeah. Like the Julian Smith. If you guys haven't checked him out, find him on YouTube. Look up videos of Mr. Tim. You will not be disappointed. It is hilarious.
With an N, Timna.
Yeah, Timn. He always gets hit by a car at the end of the videos.
Has Mr. Timna, your truck, been hit by a car?
It got hit by a deer.
That's not a car.
No, yeah.
Was the deer's name car?
No, I was going like 2 miles an hour trying to avoid.
But
hitting
was
deer.
the deer's name car?
I didn't ask if his name was Car. I asked if he was
Why
okay
not?
I asked if he was okay after he got up after
What did he
ramming
say?
into my car. He was just like...
The face she just made.
Well, what else do you expect? He rammed into my car and went kadunk onto the
This
floor.
is the kind of conversation that you guys are going to get since we're recording this after a work week.
And we're so tired.
It's great. It's
But
great.
you know what is great? It's
So
nice
great.
and warm outside. We got good tea.
We have delicious tea. Would you like to roll the dice first?
Sure. The 12.
That is a 12, yes. She hasn't put her new contacts in yet, so I will be her seeing eye person for the evening.
I'm so blind, y'all. I'm
It's great.
surprised I drive.
I drove her here, it's fine.
It's true.
Ooh, okay. I am so excited. Because we're talking about the summer of fun,
Okay.
right? This is reminiscing
I do enjoy
into the
reminiscing.
past.
Yes.
What sorts of water yard stuff, TM, did you play with and or possibly still romp in to this day?
I have to think because we didn't really play a lot in our backyard. We mostly went out into the mountains.
Okay. But, like, did you, like, sprinklers, like,
Oh, I remember.
right,
Okay.
right.
No. This is
Super
another one.
soakers, like garden
No,
hose,
even better.
like,
Have you ever heard of the hillbilly pool?
oh dear.
Okay, so we
Oh,
used to have
gosh.
this giant Ford F-150, like the old 1976 type. And we
Okay.
named him Old Blue because he was painted a
I
gorgeous,
think
glittery blue.
At some point, everyone's had one of these because we also had one and we called it the Scout Mobile. It sounded like it was about to explode.
Ours didn't. We also called it the love truck because it had. Well, listen, because it had the single giant.
Yep,
seat
the
at
one
front,
big huge bench
Yep.
that there were like springs poking out of, and it would squeak.
And you could bounce really nicely as the truck was bouncing. Like this truck,
the suspension on those
so
trucks.
good. I miss Old Blue. It was a
They
good truck.
were so loud. Like ours,
know,
the
Blue
Scout
turned on.
Mobile. I don't know. That thing's probably still running, honestly.
I know. Blue probably is too. Well, actually, no. He got scrapped and got turned into a dune buggy by one of my uncles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the engine still runs. Uncle is dead.
Jessica!
He died a couple of years ago, but his son still has
It's
the
fine.
It's still fine. It still runs. But anyway, so the hillbilly pool. So what we would do,
Okay.
we got sick of our slip and slide made out of a tarp that we would do.
Classic.
We would do those. We would take
the skin right off of you.
Really? Oh,
Exfoliating.
it's all down your back. Think about that.
Ooh.
Anyway, so we would take the tarp and then we would take hay bales into the back of the truck and we would stack it on the edges of the truck. So you would have like little bits stacked and you would have sticks holding them up and they were tied up to the sides of the truck. And then you would put
inside?
on the outside.
Okay.
Because the way that Old Blue had different setups is you could tie a rod to like 3 different places on each side.
Okay.
So if you need to make something bigger, you could.
Right. I get what you're saying.
And so we would take hay bales and we would put them along the side and we would strap them down and then we put the tarp over the top on the inside of the bed of the truck.
Right.
And
you're
then,
like trying to waterproof it.
Mm-hmm. And it would make it watertight. And so after that, you tie down the tarp. Make sure there's no holes in the tarp. You fill it up with a hose and you have a little pool in the back of your truck. So that was the hillbilly truck.
Okay.
If Old Blue was being used, we would take the hay bales and fill it up in the back.
Just like in the yard.
Mm-hmm, and then we'd fill it
kind
up
of the same idea, but just in the yard.
Yeah, we call it the hillbilly or the redneck pool. And so we would go.
Because that's very much what that was.
We couldn't afford the nice little pools. So.
The inflatable ones that you got from Walmart for like $5 that were probably honestly worse than that. The hay itself, like having owned horses and paid for hay, was more expensive. You realize that?
Well, my grandpa had the hay growing, and so he just gave it
Oh
to
my
us.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had some bales that he couldn't sell, and he didn't have
if they were like
anymore.
old or if it was straw or something, it was just kicking around.
It was just straw. It was mostly what it
straw,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, and we got the straw
Ooh, it's so
because,
itchy.
Yeah, but I was allergic to hay, like to the point where
Jessica!
if I touched the hay, my face would swell up.
And you went swimming in this pool?
Yeah.
Jessica,
the straw itself
it was fine. There was a tarp in between Jessica and the hay,
and
so it was.
Benadryl.
Oh my gosh!
But listen, like the straw itself wasn't the problem, but the alfalfa hay was worse.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't get alfalfa hay that often, but when we did, I would still play in it.
Jess,
everything was covered really nicely, so it wasn't as bad. I still had fun. I got hives maybe once out of the 16, 17 times we did it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But then my mom was like, Jess is swelling up too much. So my mom ended up
they would coat you with hydrocortisone and then sunscreen, make you take 12 Benadryl. If you were face down in the pool, they'd roll you back over again. No, it was fine.
No, my mom finally got sick of it because she was like, this is too redneck.
Yeah.
She was like, my kids need something nicer. So we finally got one of those little inflatable pools that was like from your table to the end here.
Yeah, they're little. They're just
very,
little.
very
I think
small.
that's about how big ours was. And they don't survive,
super
long.
Summer.
No, they get so many holes. You patch them as best you can, but
we use a lot of bike tire.
Yeah, the
Just
bike tire
patches.
patches. Yeah. Well, and it's very effective because like you would inflate them and then you'd fill it with water and then you'd be able to find the holes because you could see the bubbles.
Exactly. That's what we would do. And so that's how we learned about that.
Yeah.
So we got that, but I was at the end of junior high when we finally invested in one. So we have been using the hillbilly redneck pool for years.
Dang.
And we can do hay bales every once in a while. When Grandpa sold the farm, though, that's when we stopped getting hay bales. So we had to use oil kegs instead.
Oil kegs.
You know, like those big giant oil drums.
Yep.
My dad had.
I do know those things.
Yeah, my dad did a lot of blacksmithing and forge work, and so they were chock full of the coal you needed for your forge. And so we would put it over the empty ones that needed before we went and got more coal.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of the things that Big Blue was used for, was to bring that coal.
Haul the stuff, yeah.
And so we had a bunch of those kicking around. And so whenever we did, what we would do is we'd have 4 of the kegs on like the 4 ends of the tarp. And then you would build the walls with walking sticks, and then you'd grab a kid and throw them in.
Oh my gosh. I'm just imagining somebody getting impaled at this point. Like,
no, it was fun.
Oh gosh, Jess.
My childhood is so fun.
Yep.
Listen, just because I'm a scabby wild child doesn't mean it wasn't fun.
Oh my gosh, wow. I do feel like, though, that the slip and slides that were made from the tarps were, but they were better. No, what you gotta do, you've gotta involve, there needs to be more soap.
That's what I was gonna say. We usually added more soap.
You've got to make sure there's more soap. Absolutely. There's got to be more soap on the slip and slide. If there's not enough soap, then and you've got to make sure that you occasionally power wash the slide off.
To wash off all the dead skin that got ripped off?
No, well, yes, but like to wash off all of the mud and the dirt, right? Because grass. And the grass, because as you have bodies sliding down, you're gonna bring dirt on, and so every now and then you'd have to have everybody stop and then like wash it off. And then you have to add new soap and then keep water running on top of it, because otherwise you're just going to build up a film of like muddy sludge
which you come
and
back,
grime,
and the rocks that get caught like shred your legs.
Oh gosh, it's bad. Yeah, you get like road rash from the tarp. And it doesn't matter if you have the like store-bought one or the like homemade version.
You're still gonna get
that. So you have to have running water, you have to have soap, and then every now and then you have to have everybody stop and you gotta wash the whole thing off.
We never washed it off. We just
That's the problem. There's the problem, the madness in the method. I
bended my ankle once afterwards.
Yeah, well, there's a hazard. The danger.
But the children lived.
Yes, I don't think kids today would survive.
The 90s kids had it good.
Yeah, 90s and 80s kids, man. Like it was a dangerous time.
It was so fun though.
Yep.
We came home when the lights turned on outside.
Night games.
I love night games.
Like the night games. Oh man,
Infected was my favorite one. I don't know if you've ever played that one.
I did play Infected. That was a good time. But yeah, no, we had a slip and slide that had the like. We got it from somebody who got it from somebody, so it was already it was. It was a hand down of a hand down.
Old.
Yep, and
it just used your tarp.
Yeah. Well, no, but the tarps were for camping and stuff, so we had to keep them nice.
Our parents just got us a trash tarp and let us trash it even more.
That's great for you.
But you guys didn't get
We got a slip and slide, and we used it in our yard, and there's the like method that you have to have for the water and the soap and the maintenance of it, right? But you also need a like hill.
True. One of my uncles had the best freaking hill.
Yeah, you have to have a hill.
A friend of mine, you know the billboards, those like giant tarps they have there?
Oh.
Her dad was one of the workers who pulled them off, so she had them in her backyard. Dang. They had a huge hill.
Nice.
And we would always go down that.
Yeah, you've got to have a good incline.
Oh yeah, go faster.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, and like otherwise, you're just going to like smack.
It's true.
You're just face planting onto some soggy tarp.
I know, just like boom,
and go like a little bit, and you might get a little skid, but not like just get a red mark on your face and get a little suds up your nose or whatever.
And stuck it, and then you're like
and then you have to army crawl the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. But we didn't quite have a hill. We had like a slight incline, you know,
so you had
in
to
the
work
yard
hard against it.
Yeah, you'd have to start at like a dead run in the yard. You had to be like full committed, right? Nobody could get in the way. Like that was the rule when it was somebody's turn. Like nobody gets in the way, because if you messed up the like approach,
it would completely throw it off.
It would throw everybody off. Like severe injuries could be incurred, right? So like the airway run strip, right? You have to like really book it into this like slip and slide. It was dangerous.
How come you guys didn't flip it so you didn't have to like run harder?
Because there wasn't actually a hill.
But like you said, you had a bit of an incline. Why didn't
No,
you guys
like
run from the
it was
incline
just
down?
that's what we were doing.
Okay.
That's what we were doing. Because there was only like, the only way you could really notice there was a hill is when you were like mowing the lawn.
Oh.
Then you would appreciate, yep, there's kind of a hill here. So we like knew where that was. But like, was it a hill?
Did it want to be? Maybe when you were mowing the lawn.
Like it was enough of an incline that like the water would run down.
So you would notice it.
Yeah, you could kind of notice it. But if you didn't like hit that thing at a dead run, then you weren't going anywhere.
We had a flat yard, so I get that.
Yeah, right. So you had to like be fully committed, and nobody had to be in your way, because otherwise, like
you had to hit it at the right degree.
At the right angle.
You belly flopped it. Oh my gosh! I belly flopped it.
Break
so
a
many
rib.
times.
Yeah. Ooh. Slip and slides, you know, looking back, it's like, were these actually fun?
Yes, I still love slip and slides.
You know what? Yeah, I like thinking about it, but like you need a good hill.
Mm-hmm.
You need a good hill.
Yes.
You need a good hill. And I would much rather have like a boogie board. I would love to have had a boogie board.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Right.
So, and if you use shaving cream, it goes even faster.
Oh, yeah.
My brother and I found this out after stealing 2 bottles of
Absolutely
shaving
no
cream.
friction if you use shaving cream.
Like,
but then you might not even need a hill if you use shaving cream.
You'll smell real good after.
Yeah. Just
like,
don't get it in your eyes or your mouth. Ugh.
Nah.
Yep.
I found out about it. So mad.
Slip and slides were great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had slip and slides. We usually would use that, and then like we had a pool, a little inflatable pool. I don't know how we got it to survive so long, except for like all the bike patches. And then we would just use our sprinklers.
We did too.
We had like super soakers.
We got the Dollar Tree super soakers where you would put them in a bucket and you'd suck
and
it up.
you'd
like
suck it up.
And then you go squirt each other.
Then one year for Christmas we got one that you could attach to the hose.
Oh my gosh, that's dangerous and amazing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. The only thing that made it like fair for the warfare that ensued was that the hose was only so long.
That's true. So you could run to the other side of the house.
Yeah, you could like that person would then control a certain amount of territory of the yard. And like as long as you could get out of their like range, which would become very large very quickly because of the water pressure. But like as soon as you got out of that range, like you were safe.
We had water balloons too, and we got
oh my
some
gosh,
from Dollar
yeah.
Tree.
Yeah.
Dollar Tree used to sell some that looked like grenades, and so we always got the hand grenade looking ones versus the colored ones, and we played war. It was violent. But
I liked the like ones that looked like little faces when you would like. So they would look like they were screaming as you would throw them. Yeah, they were fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make them really, really cold. Ooh.
Oh my gosh! Put an ice bucket outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes had an ice bucket, but that was for the adults because they were always on point, so they could hit you.
Yeah. Gosh.
Especially at family reunions, man.
Brutal.
Yeah. The uncles
they could always
like,
get you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it was great.
I was faster than the uncles though, which is nice.
Speedy little demon child.
Comes in handy now.
Yeah. So great.
Anyway, your turn to roll the
dice. It is my turn. Ooh, it almost rolled off the table. That's an 18.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Man, that was so fun. I forgot about stuff like that. You ask a question and my brain itches.
Okay. So my brothers played a lot of sports through the summer months. And so many of my summers were spent going to games and eating the food there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever experience sport foods or baseball park foods? If so, what was the best? What was the worst? What do you wish you've never tried? And what would you go back to?
I've never done any of that.
You've never suffered through that?
Nope.
Okay.
Have not, because we never played any summer sports or anything like that. My brothers did wrestling, and I did running and some softball and fencing. And in fencing competitions, they never.
They didn't have snacks? You guys got starved?
No, we brought our own snacks because we couldn't afford much. So.
That is so freaking sad.
But other than that, not really. And the fencing competitions, they gave you breaks.
Like full-on breaks.
Because first of all, sword fighting is a lot.
Yeah, I would feel like that would be a lot. Especially so you'd have like lunch, like you could have like lunch and you'd sit.
Yeah, and most competitions and, like, didn't last longer. Like if you didn't make it into the next roster, you were out. You could go. Like you didn't have to sit and wait.
So you wouldn't have to sit and wait around and stuff for like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my fencing club was interesting.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. But what about you? Because that was your question.
So my brothers played baseball.
I do remember you telling me that.
They played a little bit of soccer for a little teeny tiny smidgy teeny itty bitty bit. And a teeny itty bitty bit of basketball, like one time, like one, like one season, one time, I think, to be like, do we want to try this? No, we don't want to try this. We don't want to handle the ball with our hands and our bodies. We want to hit the ball with the stick, right?
It's more fun to hit the ball with the stick. Baseball and softball is so fun.
I mean, like,
especially when you catch it, the satisfying as you catch it.
Yeah, sure. So a lot of my, like, childhood was, like, going to their practices, or, like, going to their games, or...
supporting them, essentially.
Yeah. And so, yeah, there was, like, always the, like, because, you know, there's the, like, dugout, and then there's the, like, cinder block building in the middle, where there was, like, the, like, little stands where there'd be the, like, Big Chew gum. Yeah, that's like pink hair.
They sell it at Hobby Lobby.
They do.
The flavor doesn't last that long.
No, it lasts for 0.2 seconds, that gum. But as a kid, that was like the best gum ever. I don't know if it was like a texture thing. Yeah, the hub. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that tape gum. Yeah. If you didn't, like, if it melted and got all glommed together, but like the tape like gum, something about, oh my gosh, the monsters who would just open the package and just bite. Oh, I would hate that. It still makes me upset.
They still sell those rolls.
Of course, yeah, of course they still sell it.
The sour strawberry.
If it ain't broke, oh my gosh, so good. The flavor lasts for like 2 seconds.
Well, it lasts longer than the baseball.
The baseball, like, that stuff comes in like a weird wax paper, like Ziploc bag thing.
With the scary baseball player.
Yeah, they always look so angry. And you like open it and it's like just a glom of like hair. It's yeah.
So did you guys have that at baseball games?
Oh yeah, they were always selling that, and like Fun Dip, and like hot dogs, of course. Like always had hot dogs, and like there was like always pretzels and just like junk, right? Just like straight up junk. And usually we would get, like, if we were, like, sometimes we would bring our own stuff. So, like, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and you would take the crinkly chips and shove it in the peanut butter.
We did that too!
Yeah. To make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich crunchy.
And it gives more flavor to it. It was weird.
It was weird.
But, like, as an adult, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I would never
I did
that
with like the Lay's, the regular Lay potato chips, or the kettle corn chips.
But you wouldn't put it in the sandwich.
My older brothers did. They would
not like, as a kid, I did that, but
as a kid, not as an adult. No.
Yeah, I would never like.
As an adult, I'm like, I have standards. I don't even eat peanut butter and jelly.
No,
I eat peanut butter and honey.
Honey, yes. But I have to toast the bread. I don't want, like, it sticking. I don't like the sensation of the bread all glomming to the roof of my mouth and just being, like, stuck there. Can't do it. But they're, like, you could get the, like, bags of chips, you know. My parents would usually, like, especially if it was going to be an all day where we'd have multiple games.
They would pack more.
We would either pack more, or they would be like, okay, you have your, like, allowance that you could get, like, a snack or, like, a soda or whatever. And I've never been, like, into soda, and so that usually meant that I could use my money to get more snacks, which was great. Otter Pops. Oh.
Otter Pops on a hot summer day.
The best. Nice. It was absolutely the best.
Especially after, like, a half marathon. That's my favorite.
Well, I was a child at the time.
I know.
So
But I'm saying, like, now Otter Pops still slap.
Otter Pops have never not been good.
It's true.
Now there are certain flavors of Otter Pops that are more superior.
True. And others that are like.
Yeah, that you would be like, okay, like obviously I'm gonna take this one. Like if it's an Otter Pop or nothing, you're gonna take the Otter Pop.
It's true.
But if you have like the rainbow of Otter Pops, you have like your preferred blue.
Red,
Yep.
green.
Mm-hmm. Purple.
I hate orange.
Okay, if there's people out there who actually like the orange Otter Pops, like, who are you and what's wrong with you?
There's gotta be somebody.
Somebody's gotta like them.
No, I get the orange.
Or is it that we all just resort to eating those because those are the last ones in the package?
I don't know. I think it doesn't taste like orange. That's
No, it doesn't.
Like
it tastes like dye.
Oranges. Yes.
Like
it
watered
like
down.
Powder.
Yeah, like
Like a powdered down pixie stick.
Yeah, not even like a good. Oh, but also pixie sticks. They would always have like the giant pixie sticks.
Yeah, or like at the 4th of July type stuff.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
they would have those. You know what? I don't think they ever had like hamburgers though. They would always have hot dogs. Yeah,
no
they would always have
burgers?
hot dogs.
That's
No,
interesting.
always hot dogs or like corn dogs.
I mean, you do like corn dogs.
Mm-hmm. I have always liked corn dogs. Like weirdly, I'm not a huge fan of hot dogs unless it's at a like baseball game, like a Major League Baseball game.
Is it just because of nostalgia?
I think so. But like they taste better when you're at a baseball game.
Do they?
They do.
I've never been to a baseball game, so
okay, first off, going to a Major League Baseball game is like an experience. Like you should go. It's way fun.
I like playing more than I like watching.
Oh, they're so fun. It's so fun. It's so great to be like in the crowd and to get like your giant hot dog with like all the toppings and stuff, and to just be in the crowd and like have the experience. So great.
Do they sell nachos too?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like nachos are great. Nachos are great, and the giant pretzels. Oh my gosh.
Well, giant pretzels are freaking amazing, anyways.
I
my
love
favorite
them.
Is Lagoon's giant pretzels.
Oh, they're so good. They're so freaking good. Oh man, I think that might have been when I had my first like giant pretzel was at one of my brother's baseball games.
About how old were you then?
I have no idea. I was little.
Little baby kid.
I'd probably like shared it with somebody because I was just little. I definitely wouldn't have had the mustard on it though. I would have just had the pretzel because when I was little I didn't like mustard. I thought it was gross.
Now that it's interesting how we get older. Flavors that we didn't like as little become like more appetizing as an adult. Like, I couldn't stand certain things, and now I'm like, I can't.
I always liked pickles.
I didn't like pickles until you started telling me that they were good. Like I hated pickles.
Because I'm right all the time. Pickles are good. Pickles have always been good. Well, they're crunchy. They're salty. They're perfect. They're delicious.
Well, no, the way that you like introduced it made it tasty. When I was little, I was like. Vinegar cucumber. Ugh. So I just like cucumbers better by themselves. It's more fresh.
I mean, like, sure, I guess if you like crunchy water, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's ice.
yeah.
Crunchy water.
Yeah, that's what a cucumber is. It's just crunchy water, less cold than ice.
It's my favorite though. I do love cucumbers.
But you know what's better than a cucumber?
Water.
A pickle.
I have to have it with something. I'm not at the point where
you know what you could have it with? You know.
Sandwich.
Yeah, and you know what else you could have it with while you're at a baseball game?
A hot dog.
A hot dog.
Is it good on a hot dog?
Oh, so good. Like dill pickle relish on a nice warm, like foot long with some, like Dijon mustard.
I have not tried that.
Oh my gosh. Chili cheese dog. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So good.
Sounds to me like this summer we need to make some.
No, you gotta go to a baseball game.
I'm sure there's a plethora of baseball games. I mean, we go to the Art Dye Park all the time. There's baseball games going on there.
No, those are children's baseball games.
Still fun to watch.
No.
Because they're like...
No.
No,
that's not the same. Like, when it's like your kid brother or whatever and you're going as a kid, that's different. I'm not going to go to some random stranger's kid's baseball game. That would be so weird.
Shouldn't have taken a drunk of tea.
No, if I'm going to go to a baseball game as a full adult, I'm going to go to a Major League Baseball game like a normal adult. Yeah, or if I had like a niece or a nephew who was playing, obviously I would go to their game because that would be cute.
It would be.
That would be so cute.
Sophie, your niece, started playing?
Yeah, if she played softball or something. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. It would be so cute. But no, to my point, if I'm taking you to a Major League
baseball
game. I'm taking you to a Major League Baseball game because we're not just going to watch any old team play on some, like, dusty field.
I like playing on those dusty fields. They're fun.
Yeah, like for you and your friends kicking around.
Yeah.
Throwing a ball, that's fine. But if you're watching a Major League game, we're going to do it right.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Sounds like a plan.
That way you can also have, like, a really good hot dog.
I'm so excited. That sounds really good, actually.
Gosh, they do have really great food. Yeah, and it's such a vibe.
It looks like a vibe. Every time I see videos and movies with people in it, they're like, baseball.
Yeah, baseball is such a vibe. It's not like my thing that I do constantly all the time, right?
No.
You know, but it's such a vibe. It's great. It's a great time. You go and you have the experience and you're like, wow, this is great. Like if we went to like an Angels game or something, that would be so fun. You make like a whole trip out of it.
That would be fun. That would be. And California's closer.
It's true. It's very true.
And
I feel like I'm required to like say Boston because that's where I grew up, and like my family would no longer speak to me if I didn't say them as like my like team of choice. But like if I'm being honest, guys, I don't have any loyalty.
On my mission, every time people would ask me, "Are you with the Red Sox or the Celtics?" and I'd tell them I don't know because I don't watch it. That would be like blasphemy.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say
like from Utah,
and then they would be like, "Oh, that's why."
Yep,
poor uneducated little soul.
Would give me
yeah.
leeway.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah, because like we don't actually really have a major league
like,
team here.
No,
but I mean, like 10 out of 10 would recommend baseball food for sure.
Hot dogs. The hot dog man.
That's the only time that I like to eat that kind of food is at the game. Right? I would never like just eat that.
It makes sense. Hot dogs by themselves are gross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitimately, I don't like
hot dogs.
No. Or even just like a giant pretzel. But like, how would you make that even? It seems like so much work.
It's not that bad. It's just like making regular bread. It would just be folding the pretzel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's normal. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made them once.
Exactly. Like one time in this whole life of yours.
Because I was little and I was like, Dad, how do you make the pretzels? And he was like, child, I will show you.
You go to Lagoon and you buy it for $3 whole.
Bratwurst?
Oh my gosh. See now, bratwurst, I could eat that. That's a whole other level.
I feel like we need a food podcast at this point.
Yep, just talk about food all the time. Do you want to roll the dice?
Sure.
This tea is so good.
I know, we've drunk a good chunk of it already.
That's a 10.
It sure is.
And your poor little eyes.
I just need a new... Oh my gosh.
Does drinking from the hose actually taste better, or were we just dehydrated and delirious?
No, it tastes better. No.
See, but like, I legitimately believe that as well. But
It's not like a good taste.
Like, the last time I drank from a hose, I was a child. And
You haven't drunk from a hose since?
I have this thing about Giardia that I don't want to get it.
You won't in Utah water.
Jess!
From the
Our
hose?
day job.
Listen, most of the time those creatures that get
Jess,
the Giardia
Jess,
are not drinking from a hose.
Jess,
They're drinking from irrigation
Jess,
water.
I have filled up plenty of buckets. I've filled up lots of buckets and lots of pools and lots of other water carrying things with hose water.
Yes.
Around like horses and children and animals and all that. Like I have filled up a lot of things with hose water, and I have seen what comes out of that hose.
Where are you at? Because my hose is just fine.
That is not clean water. That is not. I can see the bits.
I still drink from it.
I can if you. Oh.
Don't think about it.
No, no, Jess. No.
Think about it,
I strongly believe that if you can see the bits, like it's bad enough when it's like, okay, I can't see the bits. It's microscopic. I can't see the bits.
It doesn't get in your head.
But no, it does, right? Because you're like, this, like my kitchen table, like we can't see how many microbes are on my kitchen table right now.
True.
It's not, it might be clean, but it's not sterile, right?
Yeah.
But, like, the water, if you can, like, see the bits in the water, it's for sure not clean, and it's definitely not sterile. Why would I put that in my body?
Oh my gosh.
Yes! Like, in a survival situation, like, that's why I have a life straw in my camelback. Like, when I was a kid and I was blind and stupid, I was just like, I'm thirsty and I don't want to take 2 seconds to go into the house and get a glass of perfect.
You had a water grenade that you were going to chuck at someone it wasn't allowed in the house.
Exactly. I was in desperate times.
Oh
okay, but
I think you would lose your mind if you were to see me in the mountains because I drink from spring water all the
Jessica,
time.
no!
Yes! I've been fine.
No, Jess! That's how you get giardia!
I haven't gotten it yet. Oh, it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Should you have asked this question?
Jess!
Yes!
No!
I've been doing it since I was little!
We don't have clean water like we used to have in the olden times.
Have you been to the high winters and climb where no human being goes?
There are so many people that go up there. Don't even. No. Jess, no.
I need to take you to the back country. Like, way deep out there. Because you can go out there, ain't nobody by the spring water. I scare people. I've had so many stories. This
literally, so many people go to the backcountry. We were in a state full of people who are obsessed with going into the woods.
To the mountains.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So many. Everybody's like, I'm going to go into the woods and pretend like I'm a Neanderthal. Like.
And they do. I've been mooned so many times. It's so bad. It's like, look around your surrounding. I don't want to see your butt.
I rest my case.
But that was like, because we were closer to the parking lot as we were coming back. And they were literally like off the trail.
I just, like, I feel like I don't need, like, that, my point, Jess, my point. We don't have clean water. And, like, if you can see the bits floating around in the hose water or the spring water or the river water or the pond water
or a pond without, like,
then
filtering
it's clearly not clean. But if you can't see the bits, you shouldn't assume that it is clean. Like, just because you can't see the bits.
I still drink from the hose. It still tastes just
No,
fine.
Jessica! It's not based off of flavor! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Do you know how many years, how much science had to be done for us to develop clean water sources?
I'm still sitting here in front of you.
Did you never play the Oregon Trail?
I didn't die.
There were so many times congratulations, you died of dysentery.
Congrats, you died of scurvy.
And do you know how that spread? Do you know how dysentery spread?
Diarrhea in the water.
Yes! Jessica, there are so many people. There are so many countries. There are so many places on this planet.
Who have worse water than us, and they still drink from the hose.
They don't even have hoses.
My point exactly. They drink from a bucket.
Jess, there are children. There are children that don't have clean water.
I'm thinking of the children.
Just don't assume the water's clean. Please. My gosh, stop drinking from the water. Oh my gosh, stop it.
You asked me the question. I gave you my honest answer.
Stop drinking from the hose.
And I still drink from the spring too. I'll cut my hands.
Stop it. That's what they invented the life straw for. You're gonna get giardia.
I have a water filter, but I save that for when I'm backpacking, like, elsewhere.
Just what?
Normally, okay, listen.
No.
You asked the question. Normally when I'm backpacking, I do have a water filter. It's that nice pump one, you know, where you hook it up, you put it in the water, and you pump your water, and it gets inside your bottle. We normally do that. If we can't find a spring, we do that in the lake, we do that in the river, and we pump the water. If we find a fresh spring that hasn't been touched, we fill our canteens.
How do you know it hasn't been touched?
We look around.
Make it make sense, Jess. Make it make sense.
There's no pool around it.
No.
If there's no dead bodies, we're good.
Oh
my! Directly from the ground, we are good. Listen, once upon a time when we were backpacking.
Oh my
gosh. The story is good. Once upon a time when we were backpacking, we found an old miner's spring where he had made it into like a really nice little area where you could catch the water for your spring water to drink. Best tasting water I've ever had. It was fine. Still am fine. I'm standing beside you.
You're not standing, you're sitting.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sitting beside you. Just fine. Not once have I ever had Giardia.
That we know of.
I've never had it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to roll the dice?
I don't know. I'm scared. I just this went places that I wasn't prepared for. Do I agree that the hose water tastes better? Yes.
It's got like a nice fresh taste.
Is it actually better?
Yes.
No.
It's so fresh,
no,
though.
we can't. No. Here's
and
the
it's
thing.
So much colder.
Legally, yes, it is.
It's very
cold. Okay. You have the hose water.
It's so cold and fresh.
No,
that's
first,
what made it taste so good.
Here's the thing. There's a rule, like especially if the hose has been sitting in the sun for a hot second.
You
gotta let it run.
Otherwise,
it's gonna be boiling lava hot.
My brother would always squirt me with that.
That's so mean. It has to run for at least like 30 seconds. Because you gotta like cool down the hose. It's gotta cool down the hose.
Spiders that would get in, so you'd have to let it run for a minute before you decided to use the water.
Again, I
just... The podcast could have seen your face just now.
I just feel like I don't need to keep rehashing this point. Did the hose water taste better? Yes. Was it actually better? No. Oh my gosh. I'm going to roll the dice. We're going to answer one more question. Dear Lord above, please help it be a normal question. Oh gosh, it's a 2.
What's the question, Katie?
What is the family activity that your family can no longer participate in, and why?
We didn't have any.
Oh, so your family's perfect and they always get along.
No, because we never went to the family activities and stuff. I guess the biggest thing is sword fighting because my brother broke my rib.
There you go.
Anyways, what's yours? Would you like some more tea?
I would love some more tea.
Here. It's clean water, you know.
I know, because I didn't get this out of a hose or a random spring up in the mountain somewhere. Okay.
What is the activity that your family could not participate
I don't know if my family members would agree with me or not. So yours is sword fighting.
Yes, with cherry sticks that we got from trees that we pruned.
I mean, yeah. Ow.
Yeah, because I lifted my arms like that and my brother came around and cracked.
Yeah, that would absolutely break your rib.
I crumpled down so hard.
It would hurt. Well, how old were you?
10.
Oh my gosh.
My brother was like, shh, don't tell mom.
Like, go to sleep.
Basically, he sat on me and was like, don't tell mom.
Oh my gosh. That's so sad.
That's why sometimes on this side it hurts to breathe.
Yeah, that would about do it.
We didn't tell her mom.
Wow, you're a nicer sister than you should be.
It's more like I was afraid for my life. My brother cracked my ribs.
Oh, that would hurt so bad. I don't know. I don't know if my family members would agree with me on this answer or not, because I feel like this is like an unspoken rule, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you would not want to tell anyone.
Right, because it's like that this like happens and everybody just kind of like recognizes like, ooh,
that it happened.
Like we can't do this anymore, like this was a bad
idea,
right?
Yeah.
And we're like, you know, it's like if it's like a board game that's just too controversial,
like Risk. We don't play Risk in the house because
oh gosh, like my one of my brothers really likes Risk.
We have the Lord of the Rings version.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, like Risk, if we bust out Risk, it's gonna go for 8+ hours.
It's not days.
Yeah, it's like if you bust out like 1,000+ piece puzzle, it's just gonna go for days and days and days and days.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Risk is that like there's so much risk. Like there's gonna be alliances made. There's gonna be trust broken. There's gonna be like so much. Just like words are gonna be said. Things trust.
It's just as bad as Monopoly. Monopoly.
Like, we went through a period where that was the go-to game. We had multiple versions. I think we still do have multiple versions of Monopoly. Was that like just like a family thing?
To have Monopoly?
Do all families go through a phase where like they just like all get obsessed with Monopoly?
I think so, yeah.
Is that like a thing?
Because we had a Monopoly where you would have the tiles and you'd stack it up.
Yeah.
And you'd build different like nations.
Yeah.
And that one, my brother and I played it for 3 days because we were like at each other's throats.
Yeah, and we were obsessed with like, we had the like original Monopoly and then we had different versions of Monopoly, and we would take it on trips. Like we would go on vacation to like some place, and we would make sure that we would take Monopoly because we wanted to play Monopoly while we were on vacation, even though we were on vacation.
We never took Monopoly. We would just play out in the woods. We
would still go on vacation and do the vacation thing, and then we would get back to the hotel or the Airbnb or whatever, and we would play Monopoly.
We would watch TV.
Like, it was wild, and then we just stopped playing Monopoly.
How long did you guys do that for? Like, how many years?
Like, years. I don't know. We were obsessed with Monopoly.
And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it was like...
Yeah,
no.
but, like, Risk, we went through this period where we were, like, almost as obsessed with Risk, and then there was this one Risk game that dragged out forever and ever and ever, and we were all at each other's throats. And I don't even remember who won, but it was bad. And we haven't played Risk since.
Oh my gosh, how old are you?
I don't know, maybe, like, 11 or 12, maybe?
Sounds about right. We didn't play Risk after I turned 14.
Yeah, like it just kind of culminates to a point,
and then it just
and then it just dies because you like get smart enough to recognize like this is not fun.
No.
Yeah.
When you're little, it's more fun, but as you're an adult, it's like I do this every day.
Like you get smart enough to like understand how to play the game, and then you recognize like, oh, this just makes you hate everyone.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So yeah, those were like the board games, I guess.
Ours was Slapjack. Slapjack and Egyptian rat screw.
I freaking love Egyptian rat screw. Yeah. Those are good, but yeah, like
you lose fast. Like my brother and I have to take off my rings because it gets so insane and intense. I've skinned his hand, he's skinned mine before. I never played those with family, but we would play them with friends in high school. We got really good. Yeah, we got really, really good. Scary. Let's catch Halloween. Halloween's coming up again.
No, it's not, Jess. It was months ago.
It is. 10 months away.
Poopy times are 10 months away.
Spoopy times live forever in my heart.
That's true.
I am a very spoopy person. Except for when you're walking around the corner, then I'm like,
You do startle very easily.
I know.
Probably because you're blind and deaf from all the Giardia that you've been getting.
Deaf from the creatures screaming in my ears. Are you kidding? Did you hear the one today?
Yep.
I was deafened by that. I was like, oh, my hearing. And probably the gunshot.
Maybe you'll sleep better.
No, I had green tea. Are you kidding?
That's fair. This stuff is so good, though.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm like, I could run 50 miles.
It's delicious.
So
well,
I like that tea.
Good tea.
It was
so good.
And good tea was
such a good choice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the things we've learned.
Thank
you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Hope you had fun.
Oh yeah. I didn't. The questions threw me off for a curveball. That was
yeah. That's how this goes. Well, if we talked about baseball, and that's where you get the curveballs from. Hey.
Yep.
This is all we have time to talk about for tonight, guys. But we will talk to you later. Thank you for listening to Some Good Tea. This podcast is possible because of wonderful listeners like you, so make sure you like, comment, and go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you share us with your friends and family if you want to see our podcast continue to grow. You can go ahead and follow us over on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at somegoodtea.podcast. And we got some exciting news later this year coming up pretty soon. We're going to be dropping a website where you're going to be able to see some announcements, follow our episodes a little bit more closely, and connect with each of our guests a little bit more closely as well. So big things coming this year. Thanks so much, guys. We will talk at you later.